It snowed here.
Did not snow at all.
Sure, unless
So a big part of
but
it.
yeah,
Gotta get
I'm
the people.
excited.
We gotta get the people what they need.
We do. We definitely do. And we will. And I feel like my one infotech class, my one computer class from freshman year is not helping because I feel like all we did was Excel, but I'm open to the challenge
Love
of
that for
this new
us.
computer skill. Trying to be more digitally literate, even though I also think we need to be going back to like paper and pencils and stuff
Now
because
that's where I got to stop you.
no, listen, the kids don't have books anymore. Like, they don't have textbooks. They just Chromebook everything. We need to have paper and pencils. Bring back stamina.
Bring back carpal tunnel because that's what they're gonna get.
No, they won't. They won't. Would you rather have carpal tunnel or tech neck? Pick your poison. Like pick your
Carpal
poison.
tunnel or tech neck. That should be the name
Which
of the damn
one?
episode.
Yeah, that's a good one. Seriously.
Carpal tunnel or tech neck.
Or tech neck. And right now I'm giving tech neck, but I want to get back to like, oh, I just been writing so much. My pen is just on fire. That's the goal. How are you today?
I'm all right. You know, went to a funeral this morning. So
Yeah.
but it's all right. You know, black people, funerals and celebrations. It ain't a funeral, it's a celebration of life.
Absolutely.
But
was there good food?
There was no chicken. There was no food.
Okay.
There was
None
no
at all.
repast. There was no repast.
Okay.
So
they had a pre-pass.
Probably. But it's all good. It was a good service. I think, it did what it needed to do. So but
they're never easy.
No. It's crazy. No matter how many funerals I go to, it's still like, damn, somebody really just died. Like somebody really was here all this time and just not here no more.
Yeah.
People is dying that ain't never died before.
Every day. I personally am not allowed to go to funerals anymore. Not allowed, but like I just don't for the most part.
Why do you say not allowed?
Because my family members have been like, you cannot go to this.
Interesting.
Because I laugh. Like I like when I'm nervous, I do like an awkward laughter thing, and that's just not appropriate at a funeral. Sometimes awkward laughter is appropriate, but laughing at a funeral is crazy.
It was a lot of laughing at the funeral. I just went to.
But a collective laughing, not just one person laughing.
I mean,
like if the person was funny or if somebody's telling a funny story and then everybody's like kind of, the vibe is lighter. But like if everybody's crying and sobbing and one person and I'm just like giggling, it's a little weird.
So you just be a kiki.
Unfortunately, I really can't help it. And it's not just at funerals. I laugh when things are uncomfortable. And a lot of times sad things are uncomfortable. So like I could hear something tragic and just laugh. So that's my own personal.
You got to laugh to keep from crying. So like,
absolutely.
You could listen. Y'all motherfuckers better laugh at my funeral. Y'all better be laughing.
Hey y'all,
if you think you dying before me, you got another thing coming.
If you die, I'll go with.
Somebody got to put me in the ground properly or wherever I'm going.
I mean, dude, anyway, I don't want to talk about this. That's gonna stress me out. Just don't.
Anywho. Welcome to another beautiful, beautiful episode of the Unofficial Transcript Podcast. I am your host, Coach A, aka Big Score, aka the best to ever do it.
And I'm Darielle, aka Dr. D.
aka the best to ever do it.
Period. Slay. We
talking college, we talking work, we talking careers, we talking everything. All things adulthood, everything they should have put on the syllabus, but they did not. So we here to fill in a blank. You heard?
Hell yeah.
Adulthood.
So what are we talking about today?
You tell me, man. I'm just here. I'm here so I don't get fined.
That's cappuccino.
Is it?
Yeah. But it's okay. I don't know. I feel like you're better at leading the conversation than I. But I'll give it a whirl.
Yeah.
I'll give it a whirl. I'll try my darndest. We're talking about today, is college or is a degree like the golden ticket? Is it the magical thing that actually makes someone's life better or their outlook better? I think we hear a lot about it. We're here to debate that and untangle that for you every week. But I came across a TikTok this morning that was really interesting to me and I sent it to you. And I'm like, we should talk about this. And basically the person was saying that we should bring back intellectual elitism. And this is something I struggle with as a very highly degreed individual, right? I have the highest level of education conferred in this country. So I often minimize that. I feel like, and my doctorate is very new, But I do feel like I minimize it in conversation, like, oh, it's just whatever. Like other people have to be like, no, it's doctor. It's actually doctor. And I feel like for me, I don't want to come off like, snobby or bitchy or whatever because I have this degree. And it's a struggle. Like, it's honestly a struggle for me to like up myself about this education that I have. And so this person saying we should bring back elitism, academic elitism, meaning that people who have, like, we should give people with the education, with the credentials, the actual respect. Because I think right now with the internet, anybody can Google anything and make themselves an expert in something. And so I think it's very easy for you to feel like, well, I went down a rabbit hole, or I did my Google, or I did this or that. But that is not, I guess that's the question. Does it equate to someone going through years and years of study and research and writing and actually defending their writing in a community of other scholars? Is it the same thing? Is it equal? And so I think I don't know. I think that's what we're here to talk about today.
Okay. I love it. Well, I'm not as degreed, I just got the one.
But you is degreed.
I am degreed. Wow, it's an interesting topic, I think, because I guess the short answer to your question, if you're asking for my humble opinion, is I think that we should bring back academic elitism. Like,
okay,
I think there's something to be said for people who like go through it. Like, I think it's a reason why like accreditations exist too. Like, you could go to YouTube University, and I ain't saying nothing wrong with that, but you can't show up with that on your resume and be like, I know engineering because I watch Bill Nye the Science Guy on YouTube. And like, it don't work like that. I think there is something to be said for getting a formal education, and I think people sleep on that. I think that y'all gonna hate me, but I do think that we live in an era of like instant gratification. A lot of people are looking for the shortcut, and college is not a shortcut. Well, I guess it's about perspective, right? Like, it could be a shortcut, but I think that, I don't know, man. This is hard. It's hard. I do think that we should give more weight to people who go through it, though. I really do. I think that they deserve it. They went through the struggle. Like, they deserve that. It's levels to this. There's levels to life, man. You can't just Google something and think you're an expert. Like, that's not how that works. You gotta go through it.
Yeah. When people talk about, I did my own research, it's like, really? You went through a IRB process,
and that's what I'm saying.
Your
like,
findings are statistically significant.
The definition of research, I don't know what the definition of research is. You are probably the best researcher I know, doctor. So like, it's a process. You got to learn how to learn. You got to learn how to research. So
exactly,
who's to say that whatever you're researching is even the truth? You can't believe everything you read on the internet.
And what if I told you that there were other sources that you could get information from besides the internet?
Period.
What if I told you there's other sources of knowledge that are not on the internet? Like books, like people, like data. There's so many other ways, and because the internet is so accessible, and a lot of academic research is behind a paywall. Like a lot of things are, like, if we want to talk about elitism, it definitely pushes people out. It's definitely not meant to be accessible. So that's a problem in itself, that everyone can't become a doctor or expert in something. But you have to respect that there are channels that people can get information from that are sometimes just simply more credible than what the lay person will find from like 10 seconds of Googling or TikToking now, because I feel like TikTok is the new search engine. Which, there's great things. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but
I can't go to my job interview and be like, I learned this on TikTok.
I seen a TikTok that said this and this, and it's like, it can be a great place to learn stuff. However, that does not a degree make. That is not a master's degree or a doctoral degree or a bachelor's degree make. So I don't know. I think it's interesting, and I think because I know people who also have achieved this level of education. For us, like within the community of other doctors that I know, to be this educated is to know that there's so much that you don't know. Like, there's an amount of like humility that you get. Like, you can become arrogant, I guess, but I think it's much more common for people with the more education you get, the more you realize that you don't know anything. And the only thing that you know is like the thing that you're studying. There's so much else out there that you don't know. So I will never claim to be the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
Like, maybe the most educated, because that's oftentimes the truth, but like not the smartest. So It's interesting.
So do you have like, and again, I'm not a doctor, I could be using this term wrong, but do you
Stop.
sometimes feel like a sort of imposter syndrome, so to speak, because you have this degree?
Yeah.
And like the thing is, you've earned the right to pop your shit. Like you did that. But do you kind
Yeah.
of feel like you shouldn't sometimes?
Sometimes I think one, because I was really young when I got my degrees. I was often like the youngest person in the room, if not like the second or youngest person in the room. Most of my colleagues were in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Like they were adults with like grown children and like full lives, and they were just getting to that point. And for me, I'm like 26, like, hey, so it does feel like I did feel imposter syndrome a lot, like in the classroom, especially in the classroom, because I don't know, you just feel like sometimes a lot of programs might not even accept you if you don't have a certain level of experience. Like sometimes the entrance criteria, again, is behind a wall for a reason. They're trying to
Yeah.
keep you out for a
Yeah.
reason, which is what we talked about in the last episode. It is all a system to like keep certain people in and certain people out. So my program did not have a age or experience requirement, so I was able to get in, and a few other like young Black women were able to get in without as much experience. But we were not the majority. We were very much not that. And so I definitely felt imposter syndrome in the classroom and just in my work life, because I was often the youngest person in the room. And I think sometimes at least my mindset was, I know that the education field is like a meritocracy of sorts, but it's also very prescribed. You have to exchange experience for education. And so I knew that I wasn't going to just magically get tenure. I didn't want to wait 10 years to be able to be in the certain rooms and certain conversations and have certain jobs. I tried to exchange the education for the years of experience that I did not have. So yeah, hell yeah, I would be in rooms like the youngest person, and I still have, I have thoughts and experience and opinions, but I was very afraid to express them because I felt like I don't know nothing. I just got here. Like,
Yeah.
and the only reason I'm in this room is because I had the master's degree or because I was in school to get my master's or something like that that kind of gave me a head start, I feel like. So
Yeah.
it kind of got me into the room, but when it came to like having conversations, I definitely was a little bit more timid at first. Now I'm a little bit better. I feel a lot more comfortable, and like, because now the role that I have, I think, matches the experience I have, and I guess the level of like authority or influence or whatever at work. But before I wasn't like that. I was just like a project manager, or like, not just, but I was in our field, project manager is not necessarily elite status. So like in my field, I was like, I'm just a project manager. I'm not really in charge of anything. I'm just kind of doing my one thing. But now, not so much. But yeah, I did. How about you?
I mean, everybody got to start somewhere. Like you did your
Yeah.
bid, you know what I'm saying? And it's just, it's a part of the game, unfortunately. Like you gotta learn, just like with any other thing, just like with sports. Sports is always something that I go back to because I played basketball for so long, but like you don't just come out the womb like Michael Jordan. You might have the skill set, but you still gotta sharpen your blade, right? Like you gotta go through it. You gotta play X amount of games. You gotta get some experience. You gotta see things. You gotta know how to react to certain situations before you can graduate, so to speak, to the next level. I think that education and experience go hand in hand. I don't think. Well, I guess it depends on the area, but at least for like tech, right? Excuse me, for tech, education and experience go hand in hand. I'll never forget my advisor when I was in college told me, like, when you leave here, you're gonna spend 4 years here. Yes, you're gonna take all the classes, you're gonna do all the things. When you leave here, though, you really not gonna know anything. Like my goal as an advisor, as a professor, as a teacher is to teach you how to think like an engineer. Because at the end of the day, if I can teach you how to think like one, you can figure out anything. But I'm laying the foundation for you. Like we have to build the foundation first before you got to learn how to crawl before you can walk, and then you can run, then you can sprint. And so that education was the foundation. My first job out of college, I didn't know what was going on, you know what I'm saying? But I was able to use the tools and the foundation that I learned in college to build on that. And then eventually, once you start building, you keep building, it snowballs. And then before you know it, you a manager, you a director, you were this, you were that, because you now have these experiences. And so I think that education and the experience have to go hand in hand. I don't think you can always have one without the other, and there are instances where you can have one without the other. Like it's certain things that don't require you to have a degree.
You're right.
Period. Even with the military, like I know some people who went to college, like went through ROTC or whatever, and went into the military as an officer. Did they have to do it? No, but it was a shortcut, so to speak. Like now they are higher than what they would have been had they not gone to college.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it just depends on I guess what kind of character you want to be. Like I don't know, but it ain't too much anybody without a computer engineering degree can tell me about computer engineering. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I'm only gonna listen to you say but so much. I don't care what you learned on YouTube. I don't care.
Have you encountered people in your field that did not go to school for that? I would imagine so, but like,
yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a complicated question. It's probably a more complicated answer because, like, no, there's not people that went to school for computer engineering, but they went to school for something else. Like,
they went to school.
They went to school, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but it's like just like I don't like you can't tell me much about computer engineering, no matter how much you look up stuff online, and I can't tell you much about educational leadership, no matter how much stuff I look up online. At the end of the day, I've never been a teacher. You have. I could tell you what I think a teacher look like. I could tell you what I think a teacher's supposed to do. I watch enough teacher TikToks. I could tell you. I could tell you. Am I right? Who knows?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you a thing. I wouldn't even try. I don't know anything about computer engineering.
So
like that, those words mean very little. Like I know what a computer is and I know what engineering is, but I don't know what those things mean together.
I mean, truth be told, people who are engineers, a lot of people just don't know what a computer engineer is either. A lot of people think that computer engineers are like coders or hackers.
Hey, that was one time.
Anywho, how? So like, again, because you degreed up, you got more degrees than I can count. So, to me, I was going to ask this question, but I'm going to answer it. I do think that makes you better. Like, I think that makes you better. But beyond that, I guess a bigger question is like, what does better mean? Does it mean that you're smarter? Does it mean that you're more disciplined? Does it mean that you're more like what is it? What does better mean? What is the definition of better in that context? What do you feel?
Right. I feel like I don't think it makes me better. I think it makes me more. It really depends. I was gonna say I think it makes you more employable, or it makes me more employable than somebody who doesn't. But a lot of times they will say I'm overqualified for some things. So like I have gotten further only, and it's crazy to say it, but only having my master's on my resume versus having a doctorate on the resume. Because having a doctorate immediately I think means something. Like I have straight up been told that like I basically somebody told me that I would not be satisfied in the job that I was in the running. Like I made it to the final round of this specific interview and the hiring person was like, I don't think you would be satisfied in this job given your educational background. I don't think you would last long. Like I think you would get it, you're qualified for it, we want to hire you, but we don't think that you would stay for long because you are so educated. And I'm like, how are you gonna tell me?
Yeah, let me make the decision.
Let me make the decision. But I think the degree is like intimidating sometimes because again, it's not common. It's not many people have doctorates, period, but not many Black women have doctorates, and definitely not many Black women who are so young, I think, have doctorates, at least in my orbit. And so that makes you highly employable, but it's kind of intimidating sometimes, I think, to people who will be in charge of you. It's kind of like, how do you manage somebody who's smarter than you?
And maybe that's that was really what it was, like the reasoning behind that particular situation, why you didn't get that position. They didn't want nobody.
Subtext to the text. Yep, it's intimidating. So like you get further sometimes having the same level of education, but not surpassing someone else. So for me, like when we talked about last week, like climbing the corporate ladder, it's kind of like a non-negotiable for me, I guess. Like I have no choice but to get to the highest level, because otherwise, I don't know.
Do you feel like would it feel to you like a failure, so to speak, for lack of a better word, if you didn't climb all the way to the top? Like I done did my bids, I got my doctorate, I'm this, I'm that. Do you feel like you would have fallen short, or you would have went through all of that like for nothing, or you didn't go as far as you could have if you don't reach that?
I would feel, yes. I would feel like, I won't say a failure, but I will be disappointed if I never made it, if I don't ever make it to like a CEO type, a C-suite type of role. Like I'm not saying I want to be a CEO per se. Like I don't have a specific job title in mind, but I do feel like, especially with my degree being in ed, both of my like graduate degrees being in ed leadership, I know so much about how to run an organization just through the coursework of the program. So there's sometimes problems or things that I see and observe, and I'm like, well, I know exactly what I would do in this situation because I had to write a paper about this, or I had to research, I had to interview somebody. So like there's so much knowledge that I feel like I can contribute. So why would I stop? Why would I stop when I know I can do a lot better? Especially in my work is like nonprofit organizations, so like it's all for a greater purpose than just myself. It's not like I work in finance or like, I don't know, something that's a for-profit organization where the main focus is profit. In my line of work, the main focus is not making money for ourselves, it's improving conditions for other people. So I think I would be wasting a lot of my time and a lot of my brain power, I suppose, by just contributing when I can contribute way more from a leadership role. So I think so.
I think that's so interesting, and like almost a stark contrast to how I view climbing the corporate ladder. Because for me, like, I think I've been in the defense industry so long and I've seen so much. It's so political and so much red tape. I don't know if I can say with 100% confidence that I have no desire to climb the corporate ladder. I know I have no desire to do it in defense.
Yeah.
I have zero desire. Like, all of the stuff I've seen, y'all can have that. By all means, God bless you. But I think that if I was to do something that fulfills me more, like something along the lines of what you do, absolutely, I would. Because I think that I can lead an organization. I've proven my ability to be a great leader. I've already done that.
Right.
It's just about doing it in a place where I feel like it would have the most impact, or that would fulfill me, right? Like, I don't want to wake up every day and just go through the motions just for a check. That's not my ministry personally, but that works for some people. Like, some people would do anything for a Scooby snack.
They will. And I don't like I wouldn't say that's a desirable trait in a person to me, in my opinion.
I'm not selling my soul. I learned that, like, well, this conversation was about to take a turn, but I learned, I think, probably in the last 5 years, that it's only so much I'm willing to put up with. I'm just not willing to sell my soul. Some people are. Some people are willing to play the game and do the step. By all means, get your paper, boo-boo. But over here, Big Scorp ain't going.
Okay, I have a question.
Shoot.
And this might shake a table. This is a bit of a pivot. But like, since we're talking about elitism, academic elitism, do you feel like you are able to socialize with people who have not gone to college?
Yeah, I could socialize. I could shoot the breeze with whoever.
Yeah.
But if we gonna talk about, like, if we talking about like engineering,
deeply socialize. Yeah.
Deeply socialize?
Yeah.
Sure. I could politic with the best of them. Absolutely. I ain't gonna say I want to. And it's only so much, like, I'm not, once I'm ready to exit the conversation, though, I'm going to exit the conversation. Period. But do I think I can? Yes. Do I want to? Probably not. But I will.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I feel like I've had interactions with people, and even like dating, like in my previous life. Like, I think you can have conversation with people and realize your elevator does not go all the way to the top. and I don't think it's gonna work. And I think, okay, so we're talking about elitism. I feel like I have sometimes stuck around in situations where I knew that it wasn't gonna like work, because I didn't want to be like the elitist, like, this person's a dummy. Like, so I think I definitely struggled in my like early 20s. And this was like not necessarily dating, but like friends, just people, like just being around people in certain situations where I really had nothing in common with folks. But for fear of coming off as like bougie or elitist or whatever, like I'm better than somebody because I stayed in school, like I've stuck around in situations where I feel like I shouldn't have. So that's why I asked.
Well, now that you laid it out like that, I want to kind of adjust my answer a little bit.
Okay.
So when it comes to like dating, so to speak, there is no way that I could be with somebody who I feel like cannot keep up mentally. And I don't even think that the bar ain't like up here with me. Common sense. Well, even common sense ain't common. Let me shut that down right there, because that is the pinnacle. Common sense. Fuck the education. Fuck the education. Do you know the difference between there, and there?
But you know how you learn that? Education.
Read a book. Read a fucking book. But no, but you know, some might say this is a Scorpio thing. Who knows?
Okay.
I kind of find a little bit of joy in entertainment, playing with people who I know can't keep up mentally. So I might entertain a conversation with you just to be like, this
just to see what they're gonna say. It can be really mind numbing sometimes.
It
I
can.
think.
It can.
Cause like, what are you talking about? Like, I think sometimes, and I don't know if it's a college thing or not a college thing, but I think some people just like, what I will say is I think college opens up your worldview to so much other stuff than just your local environment or like what is on social media or like what is literally right in front of you. I think going to college taught me about so many other types of cultures and made me just appreciate so much more about what's going on in the world. And so then coming back home to like my people here, it's like you realize there's so much else outside of this like bubble that you're in. And I think sometimes people who did not go to school refuse to see it or like just can't.
So I believe that at your core I think that regardless of if you would have gone on to get your doctorate or you would have done all the things, I think that the kind of person that you are, you would seek knowledge however you could get it, right? So do you think that going to college made you like smarter or like a better person, or did it just make you more credentialed?
I think it made me more credentialed. I think it made me smarter in certain things. Like I definitely came out of school knowing more facts and more like, exposed to more stuff than I would have. But I think ultimately it made me more credentialed. I think it just gave credibility to my mind. Because what I say to people who like want to pursue their doctorate, to like my students and stuff, it's like getting a doctorate or even any degree, a bachelor's, master's, whatever, is not a test of how smart you are in a lot of situations. It's a test of how committed you are, how much fortitude you have, how much perseverance you have. So I don't think I'm any smarter than I was before I went to college. I think I'm more resilient. I'm more like able to adapt to things. I'm able to stick to things when it's hard. I feel like I've grown mentally and I guess spiritually as a person more so than in tandem with learning more academically.
So do you think that you've gotten more value from your degrees or from your experiences, like your professional experiences?
More value? From my degrees or from my experience?
Like earlier we were having a conversation about education versus experience. I mean, obviously you have both. I have both. To you, what has been more valuable? What has taught you more? The education part or the experience part?
I think experience. I think it has taught me more or has been more valuable. Both have taught me a lot, but nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday when it comes to like going through things. Like you have to go through them to be able to like do it better the next time. I don't know how else to explain it, but especially it might be the same across all lines of work. But in my line of work, it is like a lot of our work is very dependent on funding from other people. Like we have to constantly chase money to be able to do the work that we do. And so going through that first loss of a big grant or like having to apply for a grant, like having to go through the motions of like knowing what it feels like to have to raise the millions of dollars that you then like going through that whole cycle teaches you so much more than I think going to school to learn about the thing ever did. School taught me like structural things or like how things should work in a perfect world. Like what is the best case scenario of something happening? But in reality, nothing is going to be the best case scenario.
Yeah.
So when stuff hits the fan, when we're in crisis mode, boots on the ground, like having to do things, operating in crisis, and then coming out of that definitely has taught me so much more. First, that like nothing's that deep. Yeah. Nothing's ever an emergency. Nothing's ever that deep. Nothing's ever worth your life or your energy or your like balance or your family, like your people. Like that has been so much more valuable than anything I think I've gotten in the classroom.
For sure. I think I agree. I know I agree. And I think for multiple reasons. Number one, going back to what I said earlier, like when I left college, when I left Virginia State, I thought I knew a lot. When I got to real world work, I was like, oh, I don't even know how to do that. I don't know none of this. Like, but because I had a good foundation that was laid for me at Virginia State, the learning curve wasn't as sharp. It was just, I was able to hit the ground running. Like I didn't know it. Cool. I knew how to figure it out. It was a problem in front of me. I knew how to go through my process. I knew how to figure it out. I knew how to get to the, so that part, like, and it's like riding a bike. Once you go through that process so much, it might take you a long time to figure out how to do this thing in the beginning. But as you learn how you learn and you learn your process and you get it down pat, going forward, any issues is easier, it's quicker for you to figure it out. The second thing I'll say is that my career went very much from being like an individual contributor, like boots on the ground, to being a manager. And I would not have learned how to be a great manager. I didn't go to school for management. I wouldn't have learned how to be a great manager had I not been the boots on the ground and had a manager. I've had bad managers. I've had good managers. I've had managers that was all right. I've had managers who was like Casper the Friendly Ghost. I never seen them. I had managers that was breathing down my neck all the time. Like I had all these different experiences. Like when it was my time to become a manager, I knew exactly how I wanted to be, and I knew how to incorporate. Like I didn't lose myself. I wasn't a robot. And I think a lot of times, like when you in college, it's almost like you programming, like you getting fed all this information, but you're not a robot. You got to be able to take what you learn, put your own, like put you in it, and go out in the world and be great. So when it comes to management, for me, I think that was a difference maker. I think for a long time when I first got in the workforce, I was very much a code switcher. Like what you hear, the Coach A you hear today, that this voice is not what you heard. Like it was no accent. It was very much like my mom would say, like white people, or me and my sister used to say my mom had a white people voice when she'd be on the phone talking to people, and I had my white people voice when I went to work. And then it just took. I had one black lady be like, "Why did you talking?" I never forget her name was Ziamara. She was like, "Why is you doing that? Like you don't gotta do that." Because she was, and I was like, you know what? And once I stopped code switcher, my career took off because I got more comfortable. I'm just like, look, I know my stuff. Y'all gonna take me however I come.
Yeah.
No matter how these words come out, you know they right. I could share this table. Hell, I could sit at the head of the table. You're not gonna deny my greatness just because I don't sound like you. So once I put me into it, once I showed up as me every day, the rest just follow. The rest just follow suit. So I think that experience, though, like going through that, was very much like going through that in tandem with the education got me to where I am today. I don't think I could have this without both the experience and education. Both were very, very important. But I do think that the experience might be a little bit more valuable.
I think so. Because you have to go through things, especially as you progress. As you progress in your career, like I cannot imagine doing the same thing for years and years and years, the same type of job, and like not growing, not learning, not doing anything, like constantly like leveling up. I can't. What's the point of that? To me.
Did college help you understand like who you are? How did college help you figure out who Dr. D was, or pre Dr. D? Because you went through some things in college, like we talked about. You know, you had a real big loss while you was in college. But I'm sure there were other things, other experiences that you had, people that you met that taught you about yourself. So like what kind of lessons did you learn that you still carry to this day?
Let me think. Like I think the first thing college taught me, which I wasn't expecting it to teach me, is like being an individual. Like I went to college with my cousin. We were roommates, and in my head, we had this whole thing was gonna, rocking and rolling. We went to the same school. Like we're 5 weeks apart, and so we did everything together. We went to the same schools, elementary school, high school, whatever. And then she decided, like I don't know, halfway through the first semester, that she didn't want to be there anymore. And I'm like, girl, I did not take it seriously until she did not come back. Like we were flying back to school for spring semester, and she never showed up at the airport, and she never got on a plane, and she never came back to Atlanta. So I think in that moment, like going back into the dorm by myself without her was like the first time. It was very much a delayed. I feel like most people get that experience when their whole family leaves, like when they first move. I didn't have that because I had her with me. But then when she never came back, I'm like, oh, I have to figure out who I am as an individual, because we've always been like a set. Like in our family, it's just Darian and Janae. Like we've always been like that. So like figuring out my identity, I suppose, independent of her, was something that I had to, I don't know, get used to. Like get my own friend group, my own like people who know me just as me. Which was interesting, I think. And also, I've always been kind of academically inclined, I suppose. And I think school affirmed that for me. We had a professor who gave a test every single class. Like it was a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class. And he gave a test every session. And then we would immediately grade it. Like we would, pass it to the next person and grade it. And then he would announce who got the highest grade. I would say, not even joking, 99% of the time I got the highest grade. And so he would make the class clap for me and say, he would call me the queen of scholarship.
Hey.
Miss Dinkins was like, all right, Miss Dinkins, queen of scholarship, and everybody would clap for me every time, every single time. And so I think things like that was like, yeah, I embraced the academicness, I guess. So I think it helped me affirm that part of me, and I guess encouraged me to keep going with the education route. Like I think most of the extracurricular things I did were very like, I think the average person might call them boring. They were very academic. And so I don't know if I could redo it, if I would do it that way again. But I definitely think that going to college, in my specific college experience, affirmed that it was okay to be that way because everybody was there for that purpose. I don't know. I feel like I feared being a goody two shoes too much.
What's wrong with that?
And I just kind of leaned into it. Yeah. It's nothing wrong with it, but like I don't know, it's always been something for me. Like, I don't know. Am I doing this just because I think I don't want to get in trouble or like I want to be doing the right thing, or is it something that I really want to do? And I think I realized I really want to do it. So that's what I would say. I wish I had a more like fancy or fun answer. But like I really went to college, and I think losing my dad, I think actually made me lock in a way that I probably wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Like I think I was really, really motivated to see it through because I was so scared of like crashing out and spiraling and like turning my life into a whole different direction. Like I'm like, I could just use this as a reason to just like spiral and like drop out, have a bunch of kids and do whatever. Like I don't know. Like I was contemplating like this could be my out. This could be my chance to be like bad girl version, evil version of me.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, no, like I need to stay on the straight and narrow, I guess. So I was really, really locked in academically, unfortunately.
It's not, I mean, everything happens for a reason.
It does. You're not wrong. What about you?
Man, I think we've talked about this before, but college for me was the first time in my life where I experienced like real peace. My childhood was very hectic and chaotic, and I had my struggles. I'll just say that. Like life for me ain't been no crystal stair. And so when I got to college, like it was my first time having my own room. I had a roommate my freshman year, but after that, I had my own room like every single year. And that was the first time I ever experienced that. Never had my own space. Never. Ever, ever, ever. It was always me sharing a room with my mom and or my sister. Or my cousin. Like it was always somebody. I never had like my room, my bed, my like with nobody else. Like can't nobody just bust in, and like it was just. So I think that is when I learned that how valuable peace is to me, and how I will protect that peace at all costs. Like I refuse to let anybody disturb my peace there for an extended period of time. So like whether it's partners or friends or whoever, jobs, I'm not gonna let nobody disturb my peace because it's so valuable to me. So I think that was one of the biggest things I learned about myself, how valuable peace is to me. And that is something I still carry with me. Like I said this before, I will leave all the pieces on the floor and walk away with the swiftness. I will ghost people. I still got unread text messages in my phone from years ago. I will ghost you. No, like it ain't hard for me. I think one of the other things I've learned is that I learn how to show up as myself, like in all the ways. I'm not going to try to box myself in. I'm not going to try to make myself fit in anywhere where I don't want to. Because I don't have to. Like there's a place in this world for everybody. And you don't have to do. That was a complete sentence. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. Now, it's consequences to every choice you make. But if you don't want to do it, you don't got to do it. If it don't sit well with you, don't do it. Protect your peace. I think that one of the other things, like a little bit lighter, is that I try my best. Like I used to be very extroverted. I think the older I get, the more introverted I get. But I think part of that is that like you never know who you're gonna meet. And so that's why like when I'm out, like the way that I show up in the world or in public, I'm not saying I'm gonna be friends with everybody, but you never know who you're gonna rub shoulders with. So I try to like get to know people, or just say hi to people, or there are people that I went to school with who went on to start businesses or be CEOs, or they're doing great things, and it's like, damn, I'd have never thought we was in engineering 101 together. Now you going off like so understanding that people that however you meet somebody, whatever form you meet someone in, is not their end form. That's just their present form. And so, be open to meeting new people because you never know who that person will become. So all of these things, all of these lessons plus more are things that college taught me. And I'm very, very grateful for.
And that's something that college gives you, a network. like that sets you apart. Just going by virtue of going to an HBCU, you now have a network of like probably millions of people.
Yeah.
Of all HBCUs. Like
For sure.
if I'm hiring somebody, if I have been in a position where I can hire people and I'm going through resumes and I see somebody went to any HBCU, like it don't even have to be mine. But if I see somebody, I'm like, pull that one.
Mm-hmm.
Just off the strength, because I know what that tells me is that resilience, Black people and Black culture, and you probably, like, I already know that you have an appreciation for certain things that somebody who didn't go to college or who went to a PWI would not have inherently. Not to say that somebody doesn't have that who went to a PWI, or who didn't go to college, but I feel like being an HBC graduate is something that appeals to me when I'm hiring people. So like, you don't get that. There's things that you simply self-select out of by choosing to not go to college at all.
Yeah.
Like, you limit your opportunities, I think, exponentially by not going.
For sure.
And not tapping into that network.
I think what you said is so important. Like, that's why we need more people like us in these positions where we're able to hire people, because there are people who have that power or who are in those positions to hire people who will look at that same resume of the person that went to the HBCU and put them to the side for the same reason, because they went to the HBCU. So, for me, like, when I was hiring for people to put on my team, I knew what I was looking for. Yes, you got to check all the boxes. Like, duh, like, you got to go to college, you got to blah, blah, blah. Like, you got to do that. But also, like, there are so many intangibles that you have to have. Like, for me, like, my team has to it has to blend. It has to make sense. There has to be chemistry there. And so, yes, the resume will get you in the door. But I know that, like, just like most people, whoever with the hire, all you got to do is say HU, and then somebody be like, like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Or, A&T, like all these places, right? Just it got to make sense all the way around. So I do think that it's very, very important for us as a people to go to college, to be able to sit at the table or be at the head of the table, to bring other people with us, because there's a lot of the people that's in those seats right now don't want us there. And you can't deny the greatness that we bring, but it only takes one person to change that for a whole organization.
Absolutely.
So go fill the seat. Shake the table, flip the table, do whatever you gotta do. Bring your own chair, bring a lawn chair to the table. Hell, I don't care what you do, but be at the table or make your own table, build your own table, do something.
All of the above.
All of the above. All of the above. So who should go to college? That is a broad question.
Yeah.
But who should go? Who should go? Versus and who shouldn't go?
I'm gonna say everybody should go. I think unless you know that the career that you want doesn't require one, and there are many lucrative careers, right, that don't require a degree, where you can make bank. These careers are not like the ones that are like based on chance, like the anomaly, like a influencer or whatever. Like, if you want to be an influencer, you should go to college. I mean, like, if you want to be a plumber or like some kind of trade where there is that's still school though. Like, quite as a step, that is, you still have to go to school for that, but that's not a 4-year degree, and it is something that is going to make you money when you are out of that training. So I think unless you have a very clear plan that's more guaranteed than not guaranteed, not like one based on, all the stars aligning, then you should go to college. Like, I think people who say that college is not for them, I think you should at least try. Like, how are you going to say it's not for you if you didn't try it?
Yeah.
Like, how can you say something's not for you? What about it is not for you? How do you know?
Education is for everybody.
Education is for everybody. If it wasn't going to help you, these people in the government, with the fake Board of Education right now, or Department of Education, would not be trying so hard to discourage you from going. They're not discouraging their kids from going to college. They're not saying rich people shouldn't go to college. They're saying people who can't afford to go to college should not go, which is why they make it more expensive, because they want to box you out. So I think if people are trying so hard to get you not to do something, you have to wonder what's behind that. What's behind that door? What's behind that veil? It's critical thinking. It's critical thinking. It's the ability to like make more money for yourself long term, which is what they don't want. They don't want you to be able to live and provide for yourself and for your family. They want you to be scratching and surviving. So then you're so distracted. This is my tinfoil hat, but really, I think everybody who can, which is really hard, but if you can find a way to go to college, you should find a way to go to college. it will make things so much easier afterwards.
Yeah. Like I said before, there are people in the government and positions of power who are banking on us weeding ourselves out.
Yep.
So they try to make it look like it's unattainable so that you won't even try. Then they ain't even got to worry about you. Weed yourself out. You listen. Anything worth having in this world is worth fighting for. College is a fight. It's not gonna always be, butterflies and rainbows. It's a fight, but college sets you up for so much. You like if you go on LinkedIn or any job board and you just look at job descriptions, most of them probably say in the preferred qualifications, degree in whatever, degree blah blah blah. That is the lowest barrier of entry. So by not getting a degree, you X yourself out of millions and millions and millions of job opportunities. I don't know. To me, it just ain't worth it. And if it's one thing that COVID should have taught you is that anything in this world could happen. You could have a good job and you could lose it tomorrow. But if you don't have no degree, you're gonna make your search for finding another job 50,000 times harder. Period.
Yeah.
And I be telling.
It's also like, oh, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
I just think it's like you say jobs, but it's really careers, right? Like you X yourself out of a career path. Jobs are the things that are the opportunities that don't necessarily require a lot of education because you're really just fulfilling a function. Like that's it. You're not contributing anything intellectually, I suppose, where a degree is necessary. And those are the careers that you want that are going to give you a livable wage. And I know the cost of living in Philly is what it is, and I know the cost of living where you at is even worse, higher. It's like you piecing together multiple jobs versus going to college and starting a career that is going to like be exponentially more likely to give you raises and time off and all the benefits that make it easier for you to live your life. So,
and I think that a lot of people, I'm gonna just say this was just placed on my heart to say. I think that a lot of people automatically think that college is not an option for them because of money. Listen to me. Listen to a person who did not come from money and went to college out of state. Money is out there. People are gonna make it. Might not seem like it. There are literally scholarships, grants out there. You just don't know. You don't know what you don't know. You cannot just assume that something is too expensive for you. It's just like the same way I do you one better. One of the biggest reasons why people don't buy houses is because like people like young people that's not 50 is because they think it's too expensive. People think that you need to put down $20,000 down payment, blah blah blah. When I bought my house, y'all, I only had to put down $5,000 at first. When I closed on my house, I got $3,500 back. I put down $1,500 to buy my house. I did not need $20,000. So like everything that they tell you, you cannot believe everything that people tell you, everything that you read. You just have to try. You have to try. It is in the cards for you to go. If money is the reason why you feel like you can't go to college, that's not a good reason because it's not true. It's just not true. And I think that especially for people that look like us, that is the biggest obstacle is money. They feel like we can't afford it. We can absolutely go. Get yourself online. Get yourself on TikTok, whatever you do, look up scholarships. There's scholarships for everything. If you left-handed, it's a scholarship for you. If you come from a single-parent household, it's a scholarship for you. If you got a dog, it's scholarships for everything. Get online, do your research, and don't be lazy. And don't follow your dreams, chase them. And then you'll get to where you want to go. Period.
A word.
Mic drop.
I like that. I've never heard that before. Yeah.
You gotta be almost like out of your mind when it comes to chasing your dream. Period. The Lululemon. Gotta be relentless in your pursuit of greatness. It's the only way you're gonna reach it. Because it ain't gonna be easy. Nobody said it was gonna be easy. Nobody promised you that it was gonna be easy. And honestly, if it was easy, then everybody would do it.
Hello.
If it was easy, everybody would do it. It's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be. So what kind of person you want to be?
That's so funny. I have this sticker under my laptop that one of my classmates actually gave me, and it says pain is temporary, a doctoral degree is forever. And I looked at that every day as I typed my dissertation and I'm done. Like it's so crazy to think that there was a time when I wasn't Dr. D, like that I was like Miss D or whatever I was. Like when I have students who only know me as Dr. D, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But there was a time when that was just a twinkle in my eye.
Yeah.
So you just have to keep going. If that's what you want, if you want to be a doctor before you're 30 and are delusional enough to believe you can do it, it's nothing to it but to do it. You're gonna be 30 regardless. Might as well be a doctor if you can, if you want to be.
If you want to be. I had a professor that said education is the one thing in this world that nobody can take from you. Everything else, most other things in your life in this world it could be taken away from you. It could be replaced. It could be all the things, your house, your car, everything can be taken away from you. Can't nobody take your education away from you. No matter how hard they try, they can't take it away from you. So it's just some food for thought. Food for thought. Yeah. Take a look. It's in a book.
Listen, and you know what? That's a very interesting thing to think about in like 2026, because if everybody's getting their information from the internet or from chat or from whoever, like if they have other people constantly thinking for them, we are going. Like, what are we going to be? What are we going to do? Because what happens if chat goes down? If AI is like no longer accessible and free, or Google is no longer accessible and free? What happens to the expertise of these people if they don't have the artificial intelligence? They have to use their intelligence. And this is why I think carpal tunnel versus tech neck is important, because like if chat goes away, you can still write, you can still read, you can still think.
Listen, that's why I think our generation, like millennials, we are the best generation to ever walk the face of this planet. I don't care what nobody says.
Both worlds.
We are so versatile. We can still write in cursive.
And do.
We can still write in cursive. We was living before chat, before iPhones, before like.
Yeah. We could go either way. Like we can use AI, we can use technology, we can navigate in that world, but we also can tell time
on an analog clock.
Yes.
You know, I remember when I was working, one of my first jobs ever, I was working retail, and the systems went down, like the computers and stuff went down. Mm-hmm. And I thought we was gonna close the store, but it was like, oh no, like we open, like we could still take cash and card. I'm like, how the hell are we gonna take card? Man, they took out this charge. They took out that little charge plate from under the register and put that joint on the counter. It was like, we're gonna use this. I was like,
so we're pilgrims.
So right, man, people would come in there, get a little credit card. I put it on that plate, get a little carbon copy. Man, let them systems go down today. The kids ain't gonna know what to do.
No, just lock the doors. Try again tomorrow.
Just lock the doors. Millennials are the greatest. We are elite. Talk about elitism. We are elite. We are chameleons. We can thrive in whatever environment.
We can thrive in every environment. And I think that's another reason why we need to be having this conversation, why this podcast is a thing, because I think some people are so quick, like older people are so quick to condemn the younger generation. Mm-hmm. And the younger generation is so quick to reject the older generations. And it's like, there are good qualities and bad qualities of all of us. Like no one's perfect. No generation has it completely figured out. But there is merit to what the older people are saying. And there's also merit to what the younger, like we just have to I guess be that bridge. Like they're not lying about you having to go to college. You should go to college.
Absolutely.
You shouldn't use AI for everything. You should be thinking for yourself. And older people can learn to adapt. They can learn to adapt to technology. Mm-hmm. Both are true.
To be honest, in a lot of ways, you don't have a choice but to adapt to technology.
It's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere. It is growing exponentially. Just think, like in a couple. When we was kids, we thought we was gonna be the Jetsons, by living like the Jetsons by now.
Yeah.
But these cars ain't flying yet.
They do drive themselves sometimes.
You ever been in a Waymo?
Into each other, into ditches, but they do be driving themselves.
We not quite at the Jetsons yet.
Yeah.
But one day we will be. And is you gonna be the one still driving the 2005 Nissan Altima, or is you gonna get the flying car?
What would you be driving? That's a good question.
I would have a chauffeur.
Good answer.
I deserve
that was gonna be my answer.
You was gonna have a chauffeur?
You do. Well, no, I was gonna say you would drive.
Get behind the wheel every once in a while, just to feel something. Mm-hmm. But nah, I need Benson. Benson got me.
Please.
Or whatever the AI is gonna be called.
You could probably name whatever you want.
That's true. I have to think about that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you either either get with it or get left. The world ain't waiting for you. And don't be that angry old person that just refuses to conform or adapt. Like that's not cool. Come on, grandma. Come on, grandma. Get your iPhone and ask Siri to do whatever it is that you need her to do.
Exactly. She'll do it.
She might not.
She might not. She don't listen all the time, but she'll try.
Don't none of my loyal people listen, because Alexa do whatever she want to do.
Please don't say her name.
And whoever changed Alexa's voice, change it back. By the way, Amazon, whoever, change it back.
Stop saying her name. You're gonna activate her.
Change it back. Nobody asked for that. Nobody asked to change her voice.
I don't want my robot to sound like a human. I want my robot to sound like a robot.
I tell you what, if y'all haven't seen Smart House, let that happen in here. Let it happen in here.
Lock your ass in there.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. Anyway.
This was a good conversation.
Absolutely. If you found something valuable, or, if you want to join the conversation, please like, follow, subscribe, leave a comment, hit us up. We'd be more than happy to get your input. We want to hear your input. What you got to say, man? We want to hear it.
We do.
That includes another amazing episode of the Unofficial Transcript, featuring the best doctor to ever do it,
Dr. Doolittle,
and her sidekick.
Well, you could probably hear him.
Hear who?
Leo.
And Leo. My dog is asleep. He's an old man. Cashy boy. But yeah, we appreciate y'all rocking with us. If y'all have any suggestions about, anything we should talk about, which I want to hear about, if y'all have questions, suggestions, grievances, if you have grievances, keep them to yourself, because ain't nobody asked you for all of that. However,
please.
Comments, suggestions, questions, throw them at us. Leave a comment, like and subscribe, tap in with us, follow us on TikTok, follow us on Instagram, follow us on all the things. We're here to help. We just want to, have a good conversation and spark some minds, man. That's it. And get these young people into school.
For sure.
Period, point blank.
Bye.
Peace.